Hello, welcome to The Explainer at Herald Review Media. I'm managing editor Matt Hickman, joined by courts and crime and county reporter Terri Neff. Terri, thanks for joining us today. We're going to catch people up on a couple of important issues. Let's start out with where we're at on the jail tax situation. It's been a fiasco for a while. What's the latest?
Well, it's actually been a fiasco, we now know, Matt, since way back in 2022. Just some of the details are only now coming out. We still don't have a decision from Judge Latham out of Apache County as to whether or not Secretary of State Adrian Fontes can intervene in the case, because we know that the Secretary of State has some real issues with the settlement that the county is proposing. We also now know, Matt, some rather frightening information if you're taxpayers. The county has now paid over $102,000 just in outside legal fees to fight against the election challenge. That's not counting the $130,000 that the County Board of Supervisors have said they would like to pay to the challengers for their attorney's fees. It is also not counting the hundreds and hundreds of hours that the county attorney's office spent internally providing legal advice to the Board of Supervisors, the elections department, and fighting the election challenge all the way to the Court of Appeals last year.
So if you're keeping score at home, let's count this up. So we're talking about $232,000 theoretically in legal bills. So that first $102,000 was for the county to fight against the challengers who are trying to dispute the election for the jail tax. Now you have a new Board of Supervisors, and now they've switched sides.
Correct.
And have spent and are now offering to spend another $130,000 of your money to fight themselves and what they previously were fighting for.
Absolutely. And this is all part of trying to settle the lawsuit, even though there's a very good likelihood that the county could go to the hearing, that the one hearing that the Court of Appeals ruled needs to be held, and could win, which would leave the 2023 jail district sales tax in place until such time that the taxpayers decide in the future that they want to drop it.
Why are the supervisors in such a rush to pay the legal bills of the challengers who are suing the county, the Board of Supervisors?
They want to settle this, Matt, before that hearing happens. There's only one legal issue left, and that is whether or not those challengers can show that the county's mistake by not sending out 10,000 ballots to inactive registered voters would have actually made any difference in how the election came out. If those challengers lose on that point, which very likely they would, everything stays the same as it is. So they want to get this settled, they want to throw everything out and be able to say, we stopped the jail district, we stopped the tax.
Well, there's that. I mean, there is another clock ticking here, which goes to the Fontes ruling, because there's up to $20 million up there that the county could use to build this jail if they, but that will expire by the end of the year. And the longer
it expires the end of 2027. Okay. But in order to get your construction done by 2027, we got to be knowing where is that jail going to be built. They need to start breaking ground. That's all going to take a long time, considering that right now we have some supervisors saying, let's just get rid of the jail district and let's kind of start everything all over.
Okay, so what's the next thing we're looking for? What's the next benchmark?
We absolutely need to hear a decision from Judge Latham on whether or not Secretary of State Fontes can intervene. That's really critical, Matt, because there's a really, really big deadline coming up. In order to hold a new jail district election in November, which the Board of Supervisors want to do, they have to call that election May 8th. We're already pushing the end of April. If Fontes does not get permission to intervene, you know he's going to appeal. That's going to take a process. That May 8th date now is becoming a little cloudy.
Yeah, this mess is just getting messier, but thanks for the update, Terri. We'll do this regularly because it's a very important issue, obviously, for everybody in Cochise County. We're going to come back here and talk about some service to PD matters here in a second, but thank you for tuning in, and we'll catch you on the flip side.